What's going on there, guys? My name is Matt, or Chewwy as most of you will know me as, and I had a couple of people in a previous video basically asking me for some tips on how I managed to get my inventory. As you guys know, I'm pretty new to the game, but I've already got an awesome inventory on Counter-Strike, and people asked, where do I need to go? What do I need to do to make sure that I have an inventory as cool as that? So here we go. This is going to be my video showing you guys how to do it. Step number one to get started is you need to go to a website called csgolounge.com. As soon as you go into there, you need to sign in with your Steam profile. You'll see an option in the top right hand corner saying sign in with Steam. And also another little first tip to have there is your Steam account will be linked to an email address. Have that email address open and accessed when you do sign into CSGO Lounge here, because it'll basically send you a code to make sure that you're signing in from a good place and nowhere bad, and making sure that it's you signing in. And it'll send you a little code. You'll see the code in your email, and then you just need to pop it into CSGO Lounge. Very, very quick, very, very safe. It's all Steam's kind of safety process. So once you've signed in, the first thing that you will see is your profile and the toolbar. In the toolbar, which I've posted a little picture of here, you can see your profile, you can see the trades which you have put up, you can see the offers on other people's trades, you can also bet on CSGO Lounge, so if you want to get into some gambling, that's quite good fun. You can see the bookmarks, you can search for items, and the last thing, which is the first thing that we're going to be going on about now, is adding trades. So very quickly now, you can see the profile, you can see your reputation, so other people can see, you know, if people like trading with you, how many messages you sent, how many trades you sent. And here down at the bottom, the most important part of your profile is your inventory. So this is my Counter-Strike inventory as it stands. You can see all the pistols, the rifles, the knives, everything that you've got in there, even down to the coins. And of course, you can see your URLs here, but I've covered mine up so nobody steals anything. Okay, so the first thing that you can do, the first option that you can do to try and get some items is you can post and search for trades. So let's have a look and see here. So this is the posting trade screen that you will see. So if you have an item, you want to get rid of it and you want to exchange it for something else, this is where you need to go first off. You see here that I have an M9 bayonet fade. So I have posted at the top. All you need to do is you go down to your CSGO inventory down the bottom, click the item. So if I wanted to sell this rifle here, I would just click on that and it would shoot up to the top, and there you can see your items there. Then what you need to do is you can see that there's a search box and there's a whole search kind of tool here. If you know what skin and what item basically that you want in return for your weapon, which you'll be giving them, you can just search it here, have a look at all the options which come up on your screen, and then you just click on it once again like you did with your own item, and it'll flash into here. So I clicked on any offers at the top there as I'm circling, hopefully you can see the mouse, and it shoots up here. So I'm saying that this is my item which I want to sell, and you can give me any offers back. The next thing that you need to be doing is filling out the description, saying what it is. So as you can see, it's an M9 bayonet fade in factory new. FN is the acronym obviously for factory new, and it's got no scratches on the blade. It's a fully faded knife, which basically means the color of the fade goes right to the end of the knife. That's what fully faded means. Also, you need to be posting your screenshots. If you've got a knife and people want to see what pattern it is and how nice the knife looks, you need to be posting your screenshots here. Otherwise, people aren't going to trust you. So say, if I said, oh, my knife was fully faded, but I'm not going to show you the screenshots, people wouldn't trust you that it's fully faded. Pretty much as simple as that. If you're going to be searching for items, it's exactly the same screen, but you just click search. So you could have a look, click that item in the top, click search, and then you'd see it. I'm sorry that I've only got pictures here and I'm not actually showing you it live, but it's the best I could do short notice. The other option, instead of adding trades, is to post offers. So let's have a look and see that. So what I did is I found that this guy here wanted to sell his StatTrak Karambit Blue Steel, I think that is, which is field tested, as you can see the condition there. And in return, he wanted either my knife or some other knives and some other options there. So you can see his knife, their item, the items they are looking for. What you need to do is, if you want to post back and reply, you need to basically click on it again as you have done before. It'll shoot up into the top and you can click post reply. One tip, and one of the big tips which I'm going to tell you guys, is if you are going to be doing this, you shouldn't be asking questions. So say, for example, if this knife that I'm posting has a lower value than the knife which they're posting, you will need to add some more items just to make sure that the money is fair, basically. And you shouldn't be asking this guy how much more money he wants, or how many more case keys that he wants. You should know or he should at least be telling you at first. He should be the one asking the questions. You should be the one answering them, saying, I have 20 keys, this is what I can offer. You shouldn't be asking questions saying like, how many keys do you want from me? It's not the best courtesy from what I found anyway in my experience on CSGO Lounge. So it's very simple. You'll see his offer, you post yours. If he likes it, he may reply to you. If he doesn't, he will ignore you. It's pretty much as simple as that. Now, we talked about earlier on, if you have a trade, what happens if suddenly somebody responds and, you know, posts an offer onto your trade? You'll see notification with a little one up here, or if there's more than one, obviously you'll see more. You'll see which trade it's on, because you can have up to 6 trades going at once. So you can see there that it says 1 new offer. You click on it, and then it'll bring you up this screen. And you can see here over on the right hand side, where I'm circling now with the mouse, hopefully if you can spot that, where basically what this person is offering. So you can see I've said that I've got a factory new M9 bayonet here, and this guy wants that knife, and in return he will give me a StatTrak factory new gut knife fade. Now you have 3 options here. You can either dump them, basically bin the offer and say, nope, that's not good enough, I don't like that. You can block the person if they've really been unreasonable with what they are going to give back. You can just block them altogether and they can't contact you again. Or the third option on the right hand side is you can reply to them and chat to them and go, sorry, I'm not interested, or yes, I'm interested, add me to talk more. Different options that you can do there. So the first tip, which I'm going to be giving you guys, the main point of this video, you've got like a little introduction into what to be doing now. If you have any questions, please let me know, of course, about those earlier steps. But the first step to get onto CSGO Lounge is, what are your goals? You know, what do you want out of CSGO Lounge? That sounds really cheesy and kind of melodramatic, but what is the knife that you want? My goal on CSGO Lounge when I started was to get a Karambit. Since starting, I've had about 5 of them, if not more. 5 different types, I'm not even quite sure. And I've swapped things around since then. What are your goals? What do you want? That's going to be your first thing which you're going to be looking for. The next thing that you need to be thinking about is, can you spend your real life money? These items do cost real money. I do apologize about my phone going off there. But do you want to spend your real money on this? And how much are you willing to spend? If you haven't really had much luck with cases and stuff, which I'll go on about in a minute, and say you want a knife. My knife, for example, that I've got right now, I'm not trying to gloat about it, it's just the first figure that I could think of, is around £250. If you've got no other way of getting that knife, you're going to have to pay about £250. Have you got that money to spend on that item? If not, you'll either have to get lucky with keys, which I've just, by complete chance, obviously, got on the next slide. So you'll either have to get lucky from a case, and, you know, maybe if you have a case and you get a really nice item for it which is worth £50, then you can either keep that item or you can trade it and contribute into something that you want back, you know, kind of in that method. You know, and so that's the way that you do it. You need to just think about, can you afford it or can you not? Okay, the next tip is going to be, can you afford keys on top? So we just talked about money as a whole, whether you can kind of afford to invest into this. It's also a thing that's not just at the start of your experience with CSGO Lounge, but it continues all the way through. For example, if I have a certain knife and I want to get another knife which is more expensive, I will need to add keys to that offer usually. So I will have a knife, say, worth £200 and somebody else has a knife worth £300. I would have to add £100 worth of keys to make the maths right. Very simple. Hopefully everybody understands that. So basically, the money situation, if you are going to be putting your money into CSGO Lounge, it's not just something that you need to think about at the start. It goes all the way through. The next thing is patience. This is essential in every aspect of CSGO Lounge, in my opinion. Especially, again, if you haven't got much money that you want to put into it. I know people who have not put a single penny into Counter-Strike, and they have some of the best knives that I've seen, and the way that they tell me that they've done it, number one is that they were patient. They put an offer up. They started with a horrible gun, somebody replied with a slightly better gun, so they swapped. Then that slightly better gun which he'd have, he swapped for an even better gun, and he just went higher and higher and higher up the ranks. Basically, it's very difficult to do that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of, well, not skill, but, well, patience, as it says on the screen. It takes a lot of patience to do that kind of thing. If you are going to be posting offers, or if you are going to be adding trades, don't just go for the first one that you see. Definitely not something that I would advise to do. The next one is the most important thing on CSGO Lounge in my opinion, and that is to double check everything. Double check that you are getting the item that you want. I've had it before where I rushed things and I wasn't patient right at the start of my experience, and I didn't double check everything, and I actually lost out a bit of money on that. It wasn't anything too crazy, it was only about £15, but I thought I was getting something. I didn't double check all of the screenshots and everything like that, and it meant that I got something which wasn't as good as I thought it was. So you need to double check. If you're going for a knife, you need to double check the condition of it, or with any gun really. So if you want a minimal wear rifle, you need to check and look at the text and see for sure that it's minimal wear. You also need to check for the trader rep as well. So if somebody's not got very good rep or reputation, and you know they're not advised to be traded with, you need to be very cautious about talking to them and everything, and you need to make sure that you're not going to do anything that's going to be risky towards you. So just you know, as I say, just double check that you're getting what you're searching for. Don't do anything too fast. The next one is highballing and lowballing. Some of you guys probably won't know what this means. Highballing basically means if you have an item and you basically say, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, you want more than what it's worth in return. So if I have a £300 knife, I would want £350 worth of stuff. That's called highballing, when you are technically gaining a profit on the items which you are trading out. The only way highballing is acceptable in normal ways on CSGO Lounge is if you are upgrading a knife. So say if I have a knife worth £200 and somebody else has a knife worth £300, it would be common courtesy for me to maybe pay overall about £320 worth of stuff, just so then it was, you know, it was nice and sweet for him. So he was like, okay, even though I'm downgrading my knife because the knife I'm now receiving is worth £200, I've got that little £20 bit of profit there. So it doesn't matter that I'm downgrading, because technically I've still made a win. If that doesn't make sense to you guys, please again post in the comment section and let me know, and I'll explain that to you guys. The next thing is lowballing, and that's saying basically I've got a, you know, it's not good enough basically. So if somebody is posting a £200 item and you only post your item in return and say, okay, I'll give you mine is worth £150. That's when you are technically making a profit there, but the other person isn't. So the main point about this is make sure it's fair trades. That's the number one thing again here. I've just gone on for ages when I could have said that at the start. But make sure whatever you are trading is fair. Check the marketplace prices. You can go on the Steam application, go onto market, search for these items and see how much they are worth. There's no point in you trading if you do not know how much items are worth, because you need to make sure that things are fair. Again, any questions, please let me know if this is confusing. I hope it's not, but all the same. Next thing, quite a small one, is don't get too attached to your skins. I've done this before where I really liked a skin and it prevented me actually making profit on something. I really liked my Glock Fade that I had. Somebody really wanted it and they were like, I'm giving you a really good offer here. I wouldn't give this offer to anybody else just because I want your weapon. And I was reluctant to sell it. I was reluctant to trade my Glock Fade because I loved it so much. Obviously, if you really don't want to get rid of something, then don't. But, you know, don't treat it as a child or something like that. These are items in a game, so feel free to get rid of them. There's always opportunities to get them back later. If you watch my CSGO inventory videos, I'm the #1 example of it, because in my latest one I've already got items back which I previously had to trade out. Okay, next thing, another small one, just to reiterate it. If you are going to be posting screenshots, and if you are going to be looking at screenshots, make sure they are Steam screenshots. I've had it before where somebody sent me a screenshot of a knife which was from a different website and it wasn't actually the same one. Some people try and be tricky like that and basically claim that the knife which they are giving you is the one in the picture when it's not. So make sure that they are Steam screenshots and they are from the profile of the person you are trading with. Simple as that. Just make sure it's their knife. You can also inspect them in game and have a look as well to make sure that the knife or whatever item is the right one, pretty much anyway. Okay, the next one is to always be clear with what you want. I've said about how your goals and you should be deciding what you want to have. Always be clear with it. Don't kind of go, oh, well, I guess I can offer between 20 to 40 keys. Say, I will offer you this amount. If they say no, then if you can't match that and if you can't do better, then okay, the deal is off. If you can, then go, okay, well, I can now do 35 keys, something like that. But basically, simple, just be clear. See if I've got any more. The last one is to just be friendly. If you come up to somebody and on a trade and just say, oh, I don't really care about this, blah, blah, blah. Well, not that. That's not the best example. But, you know, people are going to be way more inclined to trade with you if you're nice about it. If you chat to them on Steam, once you've had a quick chat on CSGO Lounge and you've added them as a friend on Steam and you're having a conversation about these items and you're saying, okay, yeah, we can do this, and you're negotiating, be nice to them. You won't get far with people if you're not nice to them in any walks of life. And that really does stand for CSGO Lounge as well. So guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I do apologize if any of this hasn't made sense. Please, I will reply to all comments if anything doesn't make sense, or if it's really that confusing, I'll just make another video to try and explain some stuff for you guys. But people ask for tips on how to get into CSGO Lounge, what to be doing. But the main three things are, do you have the money for it if you are wanting high items? If not, are you getting lucky with cases to be able to get these items and stuff like that? And also just the logistics of it and making sure that you're doing the right things. Again, please ask me any question, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment if this has helped you out. I'll see you again at my next video. Cheers for watching, guys.